Good morning, everybody. Today is August 15th. It's Dr. V here with your quick COVID update. Numbers still are trending up. We are in this for a while. And, the thing I want to impress upon you guys today, and I think this is starting to become clear as I read through some of my trolling comments on my videos, people are still in denial about this pandemic. And the main thing I would say is that it's become very apparent that the naysayers are still thinking of this Delta variant as wild type disease. They think it's the same disease. And I want to be very clear about this. This is a very different disease. This Delta variant is different. And as the data comes in, we'll see if I'm a madman or if I'm a genius, right? Because the truth of the matter is this, younger people are getting sicker. The symptomatology, is harsher. If you think about people in the 30s and 40s that are ending up in the ICU, I mean, that's a different virus, man, than one that can wreck a 70, 80-year-old smoker. The early data out of China, don't forget, were 70 to 80-year-old smoking men were the ones who were getting sick. And so when the pandemic first started, the naysayers were like, this is the disease of old people. What's the point? Why are we shutting down? And then as it progressed, we saw what happened to nursing homes and hospitalizations and everything like that. And then the fall and winter surge last year. And I think the problem is the average person thought that because they were younger, they were going to be more immune. And that's what I'm seeing that's very concerning. Is that people still think I'm young and healthy. I'll use my natural immunity. I'll just take vitamin D, just drink a lot of vitamin C, take my zinc supplements. That's fine, but that might not work against this Delta variant. We know with the data, even though the numbers coming down, right? Because the large studies on the vaccinations were in the wild type setting, except for the J&J, which happened to be tested against the Brazilian and the South African variants, as well as the LA and New York variants, which are really subtypes. And so the J&J numbers were down in the 84 percentile range. And people were like, well, that's not so good. Let's do the Moderna and Pfizer. Well, the Pfizer vaccination rates are not vaccination. The rates are coming down into the lower 90s, maybe upper 89%, 90% by the time it's all said and done. Moderna's latest report was that it's still 93% effective, which is excellent. To have a vaccine that is that effective. Now, that might go down with the Delta variant, but that's the whole point of this update, which is you need to stop talking and thinking like it's 2020. All right? Okay, Uncle Billy? I mean, seriously. People who still think that this is the same disease, you're causing the problem. Well, see, kids don't get this. That's not the latest data from Malaysia. I mean, if you look at what's happening in Malaysia and Southeast Asia, kids are getting sick. They don't have pediatric hospitals, man. They don't have the luxury of world-class healthcare. And the numbers on kids are not looking good in these third world countries. And that's very predictive of what could happen here in the United States. So in today's, little update, I just want to implore upon you guys to, if you hear someone talking like it's 2020, just tell them dude, it's 2021. This is science. You got to stay up to date. And it's just not the same disease, and things that people are saying, fucking shut up about ivermectin already. We know a lot about ivermectin, and it doesn't fucking work. You don't sound smart because you sit there and say ivermectin. You don't sound smart because you go, just drink your vitamin C and take your vitamin D and zinc. Dude, that is so last year, okay? It changes so much faster than that. This is a problem for old people. You sound stupid. You don't sound up to date. Oh, well, kids will get over it. They're young and healthy. No, they're not. I'm worried about you don't know the side effects of the vaccine. Yeah, we do. As every day that goes by, we get better and better data that shows the vaccines are highly effective and very safe relative to catching the virus. If you get the virus, we know what happens. We know that 30% of people have long haul syndrome. We know that you could have, chronic lung issues and chronic brain fog and chronic fatigue assuming you survive. I mean, like, the argument is so dumb. And now I was going to talk about pregnancy today, but I still think that's too controversial. So I'll break it up into two updates. But we now recommend pregnant women get vaccinated because we're starting to see that unvaccinated women who are pregnant are at much higher risk for poor outcomes. They're at much higher risk for eclampsia, complications, breathing issues, early deliveries, stillbirth. Let me tell you. I mean, what is more devastating than a stillbirth? You know, like a full form, like a baby, 30, 36 weeks and stillbirth. It's ridiculous. And you're a pregnant woman and you don't want to get vaccinated because you don't know what's in the vaccine. Come on. But you're the same one who's going to feed the baby hot dogs. This is not good. This is not good rational thinking. So today's August 15th. The numbers are still high. And I want to implore upon people, stop thinking of this pandemic as last year's pandemic. It is a new pandemic, guys. And you guys are going to see that. We are going to get 200,000 cases. We'll probably drop down if we do what UK is doing. Next month we'll drop down and we will hang around 125,000 cases a day. Dr. V, like, if so many people are vaccinated, how can you have 125,000 cases a day? Because it's only half of Americans, which, there's approximately 100 million Americans left who are qualified for vaccinations, roughly, not counting the kids. Once we pass the vaccinations to between 5 and 12-year-olds, I mean, 160 million Americans still qualify. That's a lot of lung cells left for the virus to attack. That's the problem. People can't just do simple math. All right. So I implore you, stop talking about this pandemic like last year's pandemic. It is very, very different. Right? I'm fully vaccinated. My family's fully vaccinated. And we do that to protect my 5-year-old who can't be vaccinated. I've gone back to wearing N95 masks. I'm out in the woods. I'm at Kettle Lake here, spending a couple more days with my daughter before she has to go back to school, vaccinated, fully masked, the whole shebang. But I'm not living in fear. This isn't living in fear. This is being a responsible adult. So anyway, August 15th, stay safe.